Welcome back, everybody, to the Seattle Sonics MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K22. Before we get the video kicked off, I have a small but exciting announcement to share. This morning, I woke up to the great news that my channel has hit 10,000 subscribers. I think it's appropriate that today's upload is a Sonics episode because this is the series that has really propelled my channel upwards the past 7 or so months since I started this series. So if you've been along for the journey for the past few years or you just found my channel last week, I'm very appreciative for all the love and support I've gotten from everybody, but just know the work begins here. We're just getting started here on this channel. So now going to today's video at hand. Our Sonics are in the middle of season number 4 playing great basketball at 31-6, leading the Western Conference. The big surprise in the West has to be the Lakers. They were the worst team in the NBA last season, and now they are second in the conference before us. The East is even crazier. Look at the St. Louis Spirits. They've won 12 in a row. They're in first place. And then you have teams like the Raptors and the Knicks, who weren't very good last year, towards the top. Teams like the Sixers, the Pistons, the Heat, and the Bulls, who all had big expectations, Atlanta as well, they have all been very bad. So the NBA's landscape has been completely flipped on its head this year, which is certainly quite exciting. In today's episode, we have our very first prospect profile of the season, in which we'll be covering the elite prospects in this year's upcoming draft class. Our original draft pick is obviously going to be towards the back end of the first round, but if you remember, in the last episode, we actually made a nice little trade with the Pelicans in which we acquired their first round pick. They are currently towards the middle of the standing, so if they fall off, we could end up with a lottery pick, and who knows from there. So this is a very talented draft class with no clear number 1 pick currently, but if I had to guess, Yazid Nkrumah Bekizizwe, the Nigerian center, is the early favorite for the top selection. This kid is a defensive specimen. He has gotten comparisons to players such as Hakeem Olajuwon and Dikembe Mutombo on that side of the floor, which says something because those are two of the greatest interior defending centers in NBA history. Nkrumah Bekizizwe doesn't necessarily have the offensive game you look for in a number 1 pick, but his athleticism and his defense might be too much to handle. He has a very similar frame to Dayo Emembenegba, the number 1 overall draft pick 2 years ago. Emembenegba is a far better offensive player, but he doesn't have the athleticism that Nkrumah Bekizizwe has. If Nkrumah Bekizizwe's career looks anything like Dayo Emembenegba's, then whoever picks this 7'4" young man is going to be very happy. You'll notice that this draft class is loaded with foreign talent. We are going to be covering 3 French prospects today, including point guard Cairo Nazarenka. This kid is 6'4" and really gives you everything you want at the point guard position. He's a highly skilled offensive player. He can score from the inside and out. Good playmaker, good defender, good athleticism, good basketball IQ. He really gives you everything you want in a player at the point guard position, and I think because of that, he has a very high floor, but I think he also has a pretty high ceiling as well, so you really can't go wrong with that here in the top 5, and I think whoever picks him is going to get someone who can be a day 1 starter and then a great floor general for them for the next 15 years. The player who I believe has the highest upside of anybody in this draft class is Masango Enyago from Simeon Academy in Chicago. This high school produces legendary basketball talents such as Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker, Kendrick Nunn, and Talen Horton-Tucker just within the last 15 years. And Yago looks to be next on that list, and I think he's got a chance to triumph all of them. And Yago is a supremely talented forward on both ends of the floor. He can score from all 3 levels, very inconsistent from 3, but when he's on, he's on. Good playmaker, good defender, world-class athleticism. If he can just get consistent, this is somebody who I think we could be talking about as a superstar within the coming years. Nebraska point guard Lorenzo Lawson is currently the top projected college basketball player in this year's draft class. Lawson is someone who plays the game with a lot of swagger and a lot of fun. He is a human highlight reel waiting to happen and can absolutely throw it down. Lawson is a fantastic offensive player who's a great 3-point shooter. He's phenomenal at driving to the basket, and he's the best dunker in the country. He's a pretty good perimeter defender as well, but you're drafting him for his offense and his athleticism. The defense is just a nice added bonus and some nice icing on the cake to him being a top 5 pick. Another talented Big Ten guard is Victor Hines Jr. out of Michigan State. We don't have any film on him because he has not played yet this season, coming off a torn ACL last season. He will likely come back this year, and from there we'll go into more detail about his game, likely in a later prospect profile. Sticking with the theme of Big Ten, this is Sanjay Waweru out of Illinois. One of my favorite players in this year's draft class. He was a 3-star coming out of high school and has seemingly come out of nowhere and has taken the Big Ten by storm here as a freshman. He's a very solid scorer, particularly from outside the paint. Great shooter, solid interior defender, solid athleticism as well. He has earned his way into being a top 6 pick and has been the biggest climber of anybody in this year's draft class. The next player is center Ikino Chukwumereji. You probably recognize this name. You may know his older cousin, Uzoma Chukwumereji, who plays for the Sonics, or maybe his other older cousin, Bwana Chukwumereji. Well, this is the next installment to the Chukwumereji family. The only difference between Ikenu Chukwumereji from his older cousins is that he is a jump shot. This kid can let it fly from beyond the arc. He's not quite the physical presence down low on offense or defense as his cousins, but he is a more polished center from the outside, and I think is a lot more versatile than the other two, and is arguably more skilled as a basketball player than the other two. Ikinu Chukwumereji does not lack height, however. He stands at 7'2", and while he is not the defender that either of his cousins are, he's a more polished offensive player. He's as good of an inside scorer as both of them. The only thing is, he is a far better outside shot than either one of them. The next guy we have here is point guard Leo Boratundo from UCLA, one of the more fun players in this year's draft class. He is the ideal length and frame you look for in a point guard, coming in at 6'6". He's a fantastic defender. He is a nasty step back. That shot is filthy. One of the best signature plays of anybody in this year's draft class. Boratundo has really had a fantastic season this year at UCLA. Not the most consistent as a scorer, but on his on nights, he is great there. Great athleticism as well. Needs to improve defensively, but I think Boratundo could be a fantastic player. This is Silas Edwards. He comes from London, England, moved to the United States this past season, and is currently playing for Brewster Academy. Silas Edwards is currently the 9th best prospect in this year's draft class, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going 9th. I suspect this young man is going to go a lot higher, possibly in the top 5, and I do see this kid as a top 5 talent when it's all said and done. Edwards is a phenomenal offensive player, stands at 6'6". He's pretty much a wing, but in a point guard's body. Needs to improve as a playmaker and a defender, doesn't have the greatest athleticism, but he can put the ball in the bucket. And if you can get someone who can be a very solid scorer for you, even off the bench, those types of players have a lot of value in today's game. My favorite player we're going to talk about today is Michael Jordan, also known as the French Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not going to be as good as MJ, I'm sorry, but this kid still has a fantastic skill set. He's the modern prototype for an NBA wing, gives you the ideal size and length you really look for in a forward. He's not the most consistent offensive player. He is a good scorer from inside the arc, but not a great three-point shooter, not going to provide any value as a playmaker, but he's a good athlete, good defender, and I really like what he brings to the table. A couple of the other players who I think could possibly be blue chippers when it's all said and done, even if they're not top prospects, include Masaki Moon out of UCLA. One of the most gifted scorers in this year's draft class. Moon can let it fly from the outside, and he can go to the cup, get buckets like that one. Moon has been a fantastic dynamic duo with his point guard, Leo Boratundo, who we talked about earlier. The final player we're going to talk about today is French forward Taven Dubois. I said we were talking about 3 French players today. Well, this is the third one. The French Revolution in the NBA is real. We're seeing so many more talented French players enter the league. Of course, we saw Quentin De Colo was the number 2 overall pick a couple years ago. Killian Hayes was drafted quite high. And now this is sort of the next wave. Dubois is a pretty raw player, but he has world-class athleticism, and it's going to be worth a flyer towards the back end of the lottery. So that's going to conclude the prospect profile. Let me know which players you really liked down below in the comments below. I don't know if our Sonics are going to have a chance to land any of them, but hopefully we can because they all look really good. So I wanted to play this game against the Golden State Warriors, get revenge on them from the playoffs last year, so I simulated this game against the Pelicans, and we lost by 19. Fred VanVleet really had his true revenge game on us, scoring 21 points, which is more than he scored at all when he was on our team this season. We need the Pelicans to lose as many games as they can because of the draft pick we own. So it was kind of unfortunate to lose to them and see Fred VanVleet dominate us. Let's take a look at our opponent here, the Golden State Warriors, who beat us in the Western Conference Finals last year. They are led by Steph Curry, who's averaging 29 points per game on 61% field goal shooting, 55% from three, and 100% on his free throws. He has only played 14 games. At first, I was like, how the hell are his efficiencies that high? But that sort of explains it. Those are still ridiculous numbers for a 14-game stretch, don't get me wrong. But hopefully we can get those numbers down a little bit today as Uzoma Chukwuemeka wins the tip and we are underway. Both of these rosters, particularly Golden State's, are pretty much the exact same as last year's, other than, I guess, Uzoma Chukwuemeka starting for us. Quick three there by Deyemi Odeyemi, the second-year pro out of Nigeria. That'll make it 3-0. Sonics with their first points of the day here off of a putback by Buzz Wigginton Jr. Buzz continues to be a complete rebounding machine as that pass is tipped and stolen by the Warriors. On the other end, Klay Thompson hits the three, and Golden State's off to an early 8-2 run. Golden State looking to add to their lead in the corner. This time it's Steph Curry from beyond the arc. Sonics have to call a quick timeout. That's about as bad of a start as they could have asked for. The Warriors are shooting it just like they did in the playoffs against us last season, and now Seattle's going to look to respond, already down by 9. Here is DeJounte Murray trying to set up a play over to Kyril Story. Story with a long two. That'll break the Sonics out of their funk. And they are on the board. Now 13-6. Here comes Jonathan Kuminga. Gets the goaltending on Kyril Story. And the cum bucket. Yes, that is his nickname. I did not create that nickname. Gets the layup. 15-6. There's Oscar Jabasilan. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. 15-9 now. Sonics on the other end. Looking to get some transition points as Buzz Wigginton gets the slam. Seattle quickly getting back into this game as it's now a 4-point game, making a 1-point game here on the triple in the corner by a wide-open DeJounte Murray. And now it's 16-17. Oh, my Lord! Oscar Jabasilan, those two guys have a family, and you just murdered them on clean sight. Jabasilan dunks on two defenders at once. His head goes over the rim. I know Oscar Jabasilan's had some very impressive dunks in his time, but that one has got to be one of the craziest I have seen from him. Klay Thompson looking to get revenge for his fallen teammates as he sinks the triple. The Warriors are immediately back on top as it's now 20-18. Here's Devon Dotson, the former Kansas Jayhawk. Rock chalk hits the three. Golden State up by 3. Here is Sideshow Bob with it, truly known as Jason Preston. He sinks it from deep, and now that the Warriors bench unit has come in, they are back on top big. Duarte, no good, grabs his own rebound, blocked by Reddish, gets it back again, and gets it over to the big man, James Wiseman, who's having a fantastic season this year for Golden State, puts it back in. Now it's 30-22. Seattle needs a bucket. Reddish beats the shot clock, and it's good. Killer Cam Reddish makes it a 1-score game as that pass is picked off by Octavius Macon. On the other end, Sonics looking to tie it up. It's Dikembe Mutombo who sinks for 3, and we are knotted up at 30. An offensive entourage here in the first quarter. Why not another one? Cam Reddish sinks for 3. The Sonics take their biggest lead of the day here at the end of the first quarter, 33-30. That first quarter started off absolutely terribly, so for Seattle to be winning, certainly impressive as we move to the second. Thompson, no good at the rim. Great defense by the Sonics, and then on the other end, Mutombo, step back, lets it fly! The Sonics cannot miss from deep. Another triple for Mutombo, and it's 38-34. Murray inside, no good. Rebounded by Big Buzz Wigginton, who puts it back in, and the Sonics are up by 6. Seattle on a nice little run here, looking to keep it going, but that's kind of hard to do when number 30, the greatest three-point shooter in NBA history, is wide open from 3. Golden State cuts the lead in half, now 48-43, about 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. Duarte in the corner finds Dotson, who makes a great cut inside. Fantastic move by Devon Dotson, and that'll make it 52-47. Here's Jason Preston, what a block! Uzoma Chukwuemeka with the denial. What a play on Sideshow Bob. Now the Warriors have it back following possession. Here's Kuminga with the poster. What a dunk by Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah, other teams can dunk too. It's not just the Sonics. There's Cam Reddish. Hits the three. And now the Sonics are on top by 6. 55-49, under 30 seconds left in the half. Here's Wiseman with a nice shimmy shake on Macon. And the rookie did about as best as he could there on defense, but unable to stop Wiseman. Wiseman trying to do it again, this time to no avail, as that's going to wrap up the first half. Macon misses the full court shot. Pretty good first half. It's been a very competitive game. I think both teams are playing real well, but the Sonics do lead by 4. They're showing the dunk contest here instead of the scoreboard. It looks like Oscar J. Basilan will be back, but in the photo he's wearing a Warriors jersey. That makes me kind of want to puke. On to the third quarter now. Great passing. And then there's Jay Basilan hitting the three in the corner, making sure everybody knows that he does not play for the Warriors. And in fact, he is on our team. 60-51 now. Golden State looking to get back in the game as Odiemi connects with Klay Thompson, who sinks the triple. 62-54 now. Jay Basilan has it stripped away and stolen by Duarte. On the other end, Kuminga bodies Cam Reddish down low. And Golden State is making some noise. They're only down by 4. Buzz Wigginton trying to do his signature shimmy shake as he backs down on the defender. Fade away, boom. Buzz Wigginton does not miss that shot. He has really improved his fadeaways here in the third year of his career as it's now 62-56. Wiseman waiting for somebody to get open. It's Thompson off the screen, getting mean. Hot start to the third quarter for Klay Thompson. Look at the scoreboard. The Warriors are quickly coming back as it's 62-61. James Wiseman in the corner for 3. That'll put Golden State up. Gotta respect the big man's shot because he can let it fly too. 62-64. Curry drives inside. Nice shot by Curry with Buzz's arm extended over him. Now it's 66-69. Nice. Speaking of nice, look at that move by Steph Curry. The Warriors cannot miss right now. The Sonics did a good job of containing Curry in the first half. He only had 12. Now he is on fire, as is everybody else on this team. Wiseman, open 3, it's good. And the Warriors are up by 9. Golden State dominating the third quarter. Seattle really needs a bucket, and they do get one, as Oscar J. Basilan hits for triple. 69-75 now. Here comes Kyril Story with it. Hands it off for Buzz Wigginton. Buzz trying to create some space. Takes the 3, and it's good. And both teams are on fire offensively as it's now 72-75. Curry loses it. It's stolen by DeJounte Murray. On the other end, Story to McQuamu to Buzz. Great ball movement. That's what she said. From the Seattle Sonics, and they have brought this deficit to 1. 74-75. Seattle looking to take the lead. It's Dumas. Layup and 1. Chance Dumas puts Seattle ahead, and his free throw will make it a 2-point game. Now it's a 2-score game as that pass is intercepted by Obi Toppin. On the other end, Sideshow Bob with the lob for James Wiseman, and Golden State has it back within 2. Wiseman's been honestly the best player for Golden State today. He's been fantastic. Nice dunk there by Kyril Story, going with the offhanded, one-handed slam. 83-79. Here comes Preston inside with an absolute dime right on time. And Golden State hits the 3 in the corner. It's Chris Duarte. 83-82. Seattle leads by 1. Dumas with the screen for Story. Story back to Dumas at the buzzer. No good. Not a bad third quarter. Considering the Sonics at one point were down by 9, they have to feel pretty good that they're still winning. On to the fourth quarter, that 3 will roll out. No good. Here comes Seattle moving in on the other end. Emmanuel quickly with an awesome move at the basket, and it's now 87-82. So now it's a 5-point game. Still plenty of time here, about 7.5 to go as Steph Curry does the Steph Curry thing. He sinks for triple, and it's a 1-score game. Now 90-87. Here's Curry again with some unbelievable dribble moves. Gets the bucket, gets the and 1. I don't think Steph Curry is human at all. And now we're tied at 90. Seattle looking to take the lead back. Murray heaves it up and is blocked. I think that was Kuminga who got a hand on it, but I wasn't really able to tell. Looked like because there was like 3 players there. And then Steph Curry hits another shot because he's just insane. 92-93, 6 minutes to go. Curry with it again. Floats it up. No good. Good defense there by Buzz. Rebounded by Chukwu Bareji. Great passing. Murray wide open. Hits for triple. and the Sonics are back on top by 2. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned back-and-forth ending. Murray gets the screen from Buzz. Murray lobs it up for Buzz Wigington with the throwdown. Buzz with 20 and 14 tonight. And now the Sonics lead by 6 with just under 5 minutes to go. Seattle already back on top convincingly, but right when they take a nice lead, one of the Splash Brothers does a Splash Brother thing. And now it's only a one-score game again. 99-96. Thompson going to the rim. Guarded nicely by Oscar. Shot. Airballed. Klay Thompson doesn't even touch rim. And then on the other end, Chukwuemeka heaves it up, and it's good. And Seattle is now up by 5. Seattle's up by 2 scores, but again, whenever Steph Curry's on the other team, you never really know. He sinks another 3, back to a one-score game. 101-99. Here's Murray to the corner for Buzz Wigington. He hits another one. Buzz Wigington continues to be unbelievable, and now it's a 5-point game. Curry goes to the rim. And another unbelievable move there by Steph, and again, 1-point game. 106-103 now, 2.5 to go. Here's Murray. Goes inside from the left to the corner for Cairo Story. And the Sonics are hitting their big-time shots. Cairo Story loves that corner as he hits another one. Curry at the rim, no good. Nice defense by Story. On the other end, here's Buzz to Murray. Pump fake, back to Buzz, who makes a great cut and now has 31 points along with 16 boards. And it's 113-103. Here is Curry. Needs to hit a big shot for the Warriors, and if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him. Lets it fly from 5 feet beyond the arc, and it's good. 113-106 now. Oscar lobs it up for Cairo Story. If I'm being honest here, I was trying to lob that up for Buzz, have him roll to the basket, but Story came flying in, so I figured, hey, that works too. That lob is picked off by Chukwuemeka. Seattle looking to ice the game. Oscar Jabaseelan to Buzz in the corner. Dagger. Buzz hits the 3, and I think this game looks like it's over. The Sonics take it home. 120-108 is your final. A very competitive game from beginning to end. I think both teams played very well today. It's just that Seattle was, well, a little bit better towards the down stretch of this game, which was able to propel us to the win. Our offense was fantastic. The defense was solid too, although Steph Curry had 29 points in the second half. 41 total on 9 assists and 6 rebounds as well. We had 4 starters get double-doubles today. 34 and 16 for Buzz, 13 and 13 along with 7 boards for Oscar, 12 and 10 for Uzoma, 10 and 10 for Murray, and Cairo Story had a nice game as well with 17 of his own. So we're going to simulate these next 3 games. I know the Montreal Royals are really bad, but I do want to play against them because their 3 best players used to be Sonics with Jordan Poole, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jakob Poeltl. We would go 3-0 in that little stretch, destroying the Knicks and then beating the Wizards and Celtics in 2 pretty close games. So we're 35 and 47, pretty much halfway through the season. We're on pace to finish with around 68, 69. Nice wins if all holds up. So that's going to end today's episode. Next time, we're going to get through a large portion of January. Make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. And again, I thank everybody for the 10K milestone. Peace out.